A Saturday night doubleheader of Sal's NBL basketball coming your way, starting right here at the Trafalgar Centre in Nelson, live on the home of sport, Sky Sport. The Nelson Giants taking on the Hawke's Bay Hawks. Kia ora, a very good afternoon to you. Hugh Bainin here alongside Nelson Giants legend and Tall Blacks legend too, Phil Jones. Phil, well, we'll get straight to the big news of the night, shall we? No Trey Morning for the Mike Paddo Nelson Giants tonight. He is out with flu. How big a knock to the system is that for the Giants?
Well, I think if you take the potential MVP of the league out of any team, it's going to leave a big gap, and so that's really going to pose a bit of a problem for the Giants. I think, particularly on the interior, and Trey's been very efficient from the floor in scoring, so we're going to have somebody step up and pick up that slack.
The Hawke's Bay Hawks coming in fresh from Christchurch with hearts a-leaping after a buzzer beater from their newest addition to 1AG. As we can have a look at the Sal's NBL ladder as we approach the midway point of round 5. There you are, the Hawks 4-2 sitting in third, the Giants 3-1. Played 2 games less than the Hawks. As we see the congestion of the Sal's NBL ladder, the Nuggets, how about those Otago Nuggets? Phil Jones 5-2 after a win over their biggest rivals last night, the Southland Sharks.
Yeah, and obviously that's a team that has reaped the rewards of getting their imports in, and the first couple of games they were a slow start, and now they're really rolling, and a nice win down against the Sharks last night. And congested ladder. Giants having played less games than everybody else, so an important game here for them to try and keep moving up the ladder.
And the Hawks would love to head back to Napier with 2 wins from 2 on their road trip. A big one coming after this one tonight, 7:30 live on Sky Sport and free to air on Prime from Event Finder Stadium in Auckland. The Auckland Tuatara against the Franklin Bulls, the battle of the big city. And then tomorrow, the 2 winless teams, the Manawatu Jets on the road in the capital against the Wellington Saints. One of those 2 teams will get their season kick-started tomorrow, Arvo, and that's followed by the Taranaki Airs against the high-flying Otago Nuggets to round out round 5 in the Sal's NBL. But 2 tonight, and we see Ethan Rusbach, the captain of the Hawks. He starts with Daron Rokawa and Jared Kenny in the backcourt, Hiram Harris and Jordan Hunt in the front court. Let's hear from Coach Mick Downer.
Mick, coming off Thursday night's game, you guys had a good win down in Christchurch. Giants present a bit of a different challenge. How are you planning to attack them?
There is a lot of commonalities around, like the guards, the defensive-minded guards that the Rams threw at us, and obviously what the Giants have as a strength. So we've got to deal with that. We really rate what they do defensively. I think it's holding teams to 66 points. I'm sure Fitch will be wrapped if he can just turn it into like a really slow, grind-out, ugly game. So we've got to find ways to free flow it, make it a bit quicker, and play to our style.
And the boys coming out of that game, they're sort of shaping up all right, no injuries or recovered fully?
So the euphoria after a buzzer beater, I think they're pretty pumped, and as you should, celebrate and enjoy. We enjoyed that night, and then we were back to work yesterday morning, moving on to this game. So, there's the areas we've got to improve on, particularly at the offensive end. So, but yeah, it should be a really good, hard-fought contest today.
Best. Cheers.
For the Nelson Giants, as mentioned, the late male, no Trey Morning, but that man, Sam Thompson, will make his debut. He's been in New Zealand and Nelson for about a week, and will start at the 3 spot in the backcourt. The ever becoming feared defensive duo of Jared West and Alex McNaught, captain Sam Dempster, and it's young Jordan Schwalger who will start in the 5 spot in the absence of Trey Morning. Let's hear from head coach Mike Fitchett.
Mike, obviously Trey Morning out tonight. How are you guys planning to adjust to that?
Yeah, good opportunity for Jordan Schwalger. He's had a good pre-season and earned this opportunity. Obviously, any time probably the MVP of the league so far drops out of your team, we're going to have to cover from all sorts of places. So just a collective effort, I think.
And Hawks play a bit of an up-tempo game, and they like to shoot the ball. We got a plan for that?
Yeah, we've got a plan. Everyone's got a plan. They really go, and Mick's kind of loosened the reins on them, and they've got a really talented team. Probably, I think them and Otago, Auckland, 3 most talented teams in the league, so real test for our guys tonight.
Good luck, eh? Cheers.
Coach Mike Fitchett. will be take a brief moment to be a proud dad at the start of this game when his youngest delivers the ball in just a few moments. There's Jordan Schwalger. Let's talk about the head-to-head of these two teams, shall we, Phil, so far. And Alonzo Mourning III's name there, 28.8 points a game. Who's going to fill that gap?
Well, I think it's going to have to be a group effort from the Giants. I don't think there's any one particular player that could step up and score that amount of points. Although in saying that, I haven't seen Sam Thompson and what he can offer to the Giants, and hopefully he can fill some of that gap also. 12.3
steals per game, and you know that has been at the forefront of Mick Downer's mind coming into this game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that I've ever seen a team average 12.3 steals a game. That's pretty impressive, and that just shows you the ability of both Jared West and Alex McNaught and the tenaciousness that they have on defense and managing to steal the ball. So Giants will need that definitely tonight.
Tim Brown, Sharon Martin, Corey Hogg, referees for this one. Hawkside looking to head home with 2 from 2 on a tough road trip. The Canterbury Nelson road trip, especially this year in 2022, is certainly not to be sniffed at.
Yeah, and I would say it'd be one of the tougher road trips that most teams will be presented with this season. Rams, Giants is always a pretty tough one, particularly to try and get 2 wins out of 2. It's even harder.
Well, certainly a bit of drama on Thursday night. We were lucky enough to be there. Tawana AG on debut, turnaround jumper to seal a win on the buzzer.
It was a game that took a while to get going. Offensively, it was a bit of a struggle in the first half. But in the second half, the Hawks definitely came to life a bit and managed to knock down a few shots. We saw Ethan Rusbatch getting open and knocking down a few threes, which that's his go-to from the three-point line. I'm sure Coach Mike Fitcher will be aware of that and making sure that he doesn't get too many open looks.
Still no Tom Ingham, of course, for the Giants. You see on the left of your screen in the jeans, recovering from injury, out for the season.
Having a bit of a chat to him before the game, and he said the operation went well, and he seems to be in a really good headspace, and he feels like he's going to be back better than ever next season.
So about to get underway here between the Giants and the Hawks, as we see a real family affair. Young Sophie Fitchett, daughter of Coach Mike, with her grandfather Steve Fitchett, about to deliver the ball to the referees here at the Trafalgar Centre. Number 42 you see in the middle of the court. That's Sam Thompson, who has had longer lead into his debut than most of the imports so far in 2022. He'll be talking to Tawana AG, saying, I had a whole week, you had a day. But Sam Thompson was a teammate of Trey Morning's in the G League for the Sioux Falls Skyfalls, and now a teammate of his at the Nelson Giants.
And Tawana AG would have spent more time in the year than he has on the ground at the moment in New Zealand.
The ball is expertly delivered by the youngest of the Fitchetts. It's a high five from her dad. And a little cuddle. Good to see. And we are set to get underway. And a lot of pressure on young Jordan Schwalger's shoulders tonight as he goes up against tall black Jordan Hunt. And it's Hunt who wins the tip. Jared Kenny, a former Nelson Giant, out there wearing the Hawks colours that he's more accustomed to. Looks inside to Hunt. Rokawa, who broke the Giants' hearts in Napier last year. And that's a good start from Schwalger.
Yeah, nice little tip there by Schwalger. It's going to be key for him. The first couple of games he picked up a few fouls early, and then he sort of settled into his role nicely. And for the Giants tonight, it's vitally important that he doesn't get into foul trouble early.
We talked about how Daron Rokawa will be relishing the challenge. Here's Sam Thompson's first drive as a Giant, blocked by Ethan Rusbatch. Giants possession.
Yeah, nice defense there by Rusbatch, just managing to cut Thompson off and contest at the top of the shot.
Jared West, his first touch of the ball in this one. He lobs it up to Schwalger. Had to go and get it. He'll get a second chance though. And he gets it to go. So a nice settler for Jordan Schwalger at the start of this one. And here's Hiram Harris pushing the pace.
Yeah, nice to see Schwalger just sticking with that and didn't get it on the first attempt.
Ethan Rusbach from deep and off to the right. The Hawks captain looking to get himself going early. West. Drops it down to Thompson. Turnaround jumper doesn't go. Rebounded by Harris. And here's Rusbach going at Schwalger the other way.
A nice challenge by Schwalger, just staying vertical there and not getting his hands down, coming down on the ball. Jared West.
The floater doesn't go, but he gets his own rebound, scampers out beyond the arc. Calls to the screen and gets it. Sam Dempster scoreless last week in the win against the Rams. First shot off to the left.
He was pretty good on Tuesday night at Club Ball though. He knocked down a few shots against the Knight Riders.
He certainly did. Jared Kenny looking to jump it off to Jordan Hunt. He had a fantastic game. Rusbach just rips it past Thompson, who does really well to recover though, Sam Thompson. Schwalger comes up to set the screen. West. Step back, mid-range, doesn't go. Rusbach with the rebound. Dempster unsettling things, and the Giants come away with the ball.
The Giants just coming up with the extra possessions here just through pure hustle.
McNaught wanted the call that didn't come. And the Hawks will look to settle themselves into their first points of the game. Here's Jordan Hunt going at Dempster, and Jordan Hunt gets the score ticking for the Hawks.
And he had a very good game against the Rams on Thursday night. Did a bit of everything. Jordan Hunt scoring, rebounding, dishing out assists. So he's definitely going to be one that the Giants are going to have to take care of tonight.
Averaging 17 and 8. He had 5 steals against the Rams, did Jordan Hunt. Alex McNaught, little head fake and then drive on Jared Kenny. The foul called on the floor. So the basket won't count.
McNaught slightly unlucky there, I think. He potentially had gathered the ball on the way to the hoop. However, the Giants get the ball back.
Sam Thompson to inbound. Jared West. Screen from Schwalger. And West puts Rokawa on his back. Here's Dempster dashing at the hoop and getting his first bucket for a couple of weeks. Sam Dempster for 2.
Sam Dempster, Jordan Hunt out.
Jordan Hunt running the floor.
Sam Dempster, sponsored by Rock Gas, locally owned business here. Close friends of ours, of course, Richard and Sarah Ingalls.
Here he is again. Catch and shoot from the Giants. Captain off the back iron. Thompson with the offensive board. This time he fakes. And Jared West fires from the other wing. Dempster goes and gets the rebound. Third chance. Points don't go down for the Giants, and Jared Kenny will look to settle it down.
Seems like there's a bit of a lid on the hoop at the moment for both teams.
4 apiece. Nearly 4 minutes gone as Rokawa drives down the lane. Schwalger does well to effect the shot. There's a taller man than Trey Morning is Jordan Schwalger. Sam Thompson. His mid-ranger doesn't go. And that pass is wayward. Jared Kenny telling.
See here, Dorone Rokawa just full length of the court pass, and Jordan Hunt just leading the break. Nice to see a big man like that getting out and running the floor and finishing like a big man should and just slamming it home.
Rokawa takes the seat. Derek Albertson out there now for the Hawks as Alex McNaught puts up a floater from free throw line range, and down it goes.
Really nice soft touch by McNaught.
Albertson to Hiram Harris. The Giants making special mention before the game to do anything to try and fire Hiram Harris up.
Thompson doing a nice job there of just holding Harris off and coming out with that board.
Oh, Jared West with a little stop and go. Dempster takes the time over the three that doesn't go. Kenny with the rebound.
It seems like there's a real feeling out process in this game at the moment. Neither team sort of falling into their structure. And
Rusbach driving, finishing with the left. Nice move, Ethan Rusbach.
Just as I say that, Rusbach gets an easy basket to the penetration to the hoop.
Here's McNaught. West looking to lob it into Schwager. Delicate touch from the big man.
Yeah, a real luxury when you've got a big guy that can roll to the basket and you just throw it up by the rim and they can go and get it.
Kenny dumping it off to Hunt. And we have a travel on Jordan Hunt. And we have a timeout. First time out of the game. Arguing his case, but then realising the timeout's been called, and he makes his way to the bench.
Possibly one of the quietest guys that plays in the league, so he wouldn't often argue his point, I don't think, Jordan Hunt.
We'll talk about Sam Thompson. You mentioned his defensive effort. I, funny enough, bumped into Nick Trathan at the supermarket yesterday and said, oh, how's Sam Thompson going? And he said he's buying into the defence, which is clearly the theme of the Giants in 2022. And so far from what we've seen, Phil, that seems to be coming true.
Yeah, well, I think the Giants have that's really something they're hanging their hat on this year, particularly with the fact that Jared West is such a leader in regards to that side of things. And you've got Alex McNaught, he's been really well known for his defensive prowess. Last year in the league he was pretty tough, but now getting a much bigger opportunity. And if you can add more pieces to that picture, it just makes the team that much harder to play against. And well, they say defense wins championships, right? So pretty good starting block for the Giants to make a push for something like that.
So Tawan AG comes out for the first time tonight.
And I was pretty impressed with his effort in the Rams game. Obviously, he spent a lot of time in the year before arriving in Christchurch. I think he was 20-something hours of flight to New Zealand, and then the next morning I was on a flight from Hawke's Bay to Christchurch. I thought he did really well. He looks like he's an athlete, particularly in the warm-up line.
Back underway. Here's Sam Thompson, Riley Benson and Nick Trathan out there for the Giants now. AG the only change for the Hawks.
You see the Hawks falling back into a bit of a zone here.
3 on the shot clock. West contested 3, has to go. Rebounded by AG. Oh, and AG hits the deck hard. And he might have hurt his ankle. There is a whistle.
Man, I thought
it
was going to be his shoulder, the way he landed.
A grimace of pain as he tests out his ankle.
Trying to walk it off.
He has shoulders the size of wrecking balls, so I think that probably is how that awkward landing doesn't seem to have affected his arm too much.
And he's got ankles the size of my golf clubs.
So McDowell will keep a close eye on AG just to see how he handles that. It looks like an ankle tweak. Meanwhile, we're back underway. Rokawa goes round Sam Dempster. Here is AG. Good hand from Dempster, but only as far as Derek Albertson, who pulls up from mid-range. West with the board.
We see the Giants really undersized now with Swolger going out of the game. We've got Sam Dempster playing the 5 spot.
And they'll look to see some aggression and some drive from Nick Trathan as Dempster's 3-ball goes. Sam Dempster from beyond the arc, and seems to be a concerted effort, Phil, from the Giants captain that someone has to fill the scoring boots of Alonzo Mourning, and he's going to do a bit of it.
Yeah, we've seen Sam take more shots than he would normally take in the beginning of the game, and he needs to be aggressive because he can score, and he's shown that this season in the NZNBL. 17
points in Franklin against the Bulls. And then 0 last week against the Rams. Not that he would really care too much with the Giants getting a win in both those games.
Yeah, and you know, Sam's not about the stats. You know, he's a grafter. He does all the little things that help teams to win. And now he's got an opportunity to score some points. He'll do that too, you know, which is a luxury for, you know, Coach Mike Fisher to have in a player like Sam.
Orokawa's second free throw doesn't go. 11-7, the Giants lead. Riley Bensimon's first shot of this one. Rebounded by AG. Oh, AG slings that pass across.
Ankle was looking pretty good.
Certainly is. Derek Albertson. They look inside to AG. Thompson on him. Gets the first stop in the initial turn. Albertson can shoot it, and he drains it.
Just saw the look on Dempster's face there when the ball went out to Albertson. Straight away, he knew that it helped too much.
Orokawa bellowing defensive instructions. Dempster from the pick and pop. That three doesn't go. Harris with the board. Harris just drops it over to AG. Thompson's there and commits a foul.
It's called for a bit of contact on the arm. See Thompson there. Yeah, just catching him on the arm as he goes up for the shot.
Sam Thompson wearing number 42, and we're going to see another debutant wear number 42 tonight, and that being Dan Fotu, who will make his debut for the Auckland Tuatara. New signing for the Breakers as well, of course. So plenty of Kiwi basketball fan looking forward to seeing Dan Fotu in his first gig out of college.
Yeah, exciting to have those young guys coming back to the league and being a part of it. You know, he's an exciting prospect, and it'd be nice to see him playing.
AG makes both from the line. And the Hawks take a 1-point lead with just over 2 minutes to go in this first quarter.
You see young Sean Murphy checking into the game with a completely different look.
Jacob Murphy.
Sorry, Jacob Murphy.
But yeah, he's lost the mullet.
He has.
Wonder if he had a chat with Jared Kenny about the mullet withdrawal symptoms as Ben Simmons' three ball rolls around the rim. Smallest man on the court comes up with the offensive board. Puts it back, can't get it to go. Murphy with the rebound. Here's Hiram Harris. Under 2 to go in the first quarter to 1 AG. Baseline jumper. Everard Bartlett goes and gets the offensive rebound. And AG steps on the sideline.
Best defender in the league, sideline.
Good minutes from Everard Bartlett the other night, Phil, on Thursday night, the veteran.
Yeah, and he hit a crucial shot in that fourth quarter that really helped sort of spur the Hawks back into the game.
Alex McNaught draws a foul from Murphy. Second one in quick succession from the youngster of Napier Boys High. So Nick Trathan will get us back underway. McNaught, one half of one of the most talked about backcourts in the league so far in the season. Dempster drives with 5 on the shot clock. Under Armour with the right hand, and Sam Dempster contributing tonight.
Great little finish by Sam there. I think he was in two minds whether to pass it or shoot it, and then last second there just flicked it up.
AG out to the corner. That's Bartlett for 3. Down it goes, Everard Bartlett.
Yeah, and here's one man you can't leave open.
Thompson just got over halfway. Trathan trying to get himself going. Too strong. And here's AG in the open court, look out. Throws it down with one hand.
Yeah, it's a little bit too easy there from the Giants in transition defense.
Dempster hands it off to McNaught. Round the back to Dempster. Here's Trathan from the wing. His three ball tickles a twine. Nick Trathan. Nice move from the Giants.
Yeah, much better shot for Nick. You know, coming out of the offense, the ball gets through a few different pairs of hands, and then Nick comes out with a wide open shot.
5 seconds to go in the first quarter. Jared Kenny, the veteran Tall Black. Drive. Fouled. And he'll go to the Racine foul line to shoot 2. Foul called on Trathan.
And Jared Kenny just getting Riley Benson on his back there, and Nick just catching him on the forearm as he went up for the shot. And Jared's been playing 19 seasons in the NBL. Still looks like he's about 21.
Fair few Australian NBL seasons in there as well, and a whole heap of Tall Blacks campaigns. Makes both his free throws. And Alex McNaught chucks one up to close the quarter. The quarter that started tentatively before both teams settled into their work, and it's the Hawke's Bay Hawks who lead by 3, 19-16 here. We'll be back with the second quarter after the break.
At top of your quarter, time entertainment. Thanks to our friends at Sal. And Mahi. Rightio, we got pizza. We've got 60 seconds. Everyone you nail, run down, make a basket, come back, grab a slice. You can drop it on the floor, your side, and that is yours. 1 minute. Are you ready to go? 3, 2, 1, go. 60 seconds is what they've got. First one's up. They both make it. Back to the centre. There's a slice. It's on the ground. Go for number 2. Both make another one. Back to their second slice, and we are only 20 seconds in. These guys are just about going to get themselves an entire pizza, one would think. 30 seconds.
Camera cuts to us. Because we're on back of the cameras anyway.
2 more to go. Making it back. Shots up. Oh, these guys are good. That is the last piece. You got 10 seconds this end to get the last one. There it is. Make another one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And they've cleaned us out of pizza. Give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Well done, Joe and Mahi. Good work.
Welcome back to the Trafalgar Centre. The Nelson Giants trail the Hawke's Bay Hawks 16-19 after 1 quarter of action. Another good crowd here in Nelson, Phil. 4th straight sellout for the Giants. And a lot of interest in seeing number 33, Trey Morning, who isn't on display tonight if you're just joining us, out with flu-like symptoms. I'm sure he'll be watching on at home. I wish you the very best, Trey, for your recovery.
Yeah, I think that's probably surprised a few of the fans here, just probably wanting to know why he's not here because of the game day decision. So a lot of them would have turned up, would have been expecting to see him out on the court.
So 1 quarter in the book, second quarter about to get underway. Tyler Marsh out there for the Giants, and he'll get us back underway. Shooting clips better for the Hawks than it was after a quarter in Christchurch the other night, Phil. Shooting 46%.
Yeah, definitely shooting a better percentage. But yeah, I think the thing is the game is still really in the balance. As we see an alley-oop attempt there.
Just over the outstretched arms of Jordan Schwalger. Everard Bartlett made his first 3. Stays out there for the Hawks. They look inside to Tawan AG. Goes to work on Schwalger and earns a trip to the Racine foul line.
A really nice, quick move there by AG. This catch, it squares up and just a quick step to the basket. 1 dribble when you're that big and long. You only need 1 dribble and you get all the way to the hoop.
6'9" upwards, 7'3" wingspan. And he makes his free throws.
He will be reaching every light bulb in the house.
4 for 4 from the Rosine foul line as well tonight, as Tyler Marsh will bring the ball up for the Giants. Alex McNaught calls for a screen and gets it. Here's Marsh. Back to McNaught. High arcing three off the back. Iron doesn't go. AG goes and gets the board.
And the Hawks showing the Giants a lot of zone defense at the moment. It's sort of taking the Giants out of their offenses.
AG again will go to work on Schwalger. Again we'll get to the foul line, and this time he gets the bucket too.
And it looks like a bit of a game plan for the Hawks is just to isolate AG and Schwalger on that free throw line there and let him go to work. He's come up trumps last two possessions.
Two fouls on Schwalger now. As AG converts the three-point play, timeout by the Nelson Giants. They trail 24-16.
Coach Fitchett's seen something that he doesn't like, so just bringing his troops in to have a bit of a chat about what changes they need to make.
See Tom Ingham, now de facto assistant coach, just having a word with Jordan Schwalger about guarding Tawan AG.
Yeah, no, I think Mick Downer, being the astute coach that he is, he would see that the Giants are very thin in the front line, you know, and targeting Schwalger is probably something higher on their priority list. They get their big guy, Giants big guy off the court, then all of a sudden it becomes a different proposition for the Giants trying to contain the Hawks big men.
Thanks to Mike Bureau, three-quarter
DJ Gardner Holmes replay with the goods. And those are the kind of plays that make you popular with the fans. Rusbatch, catch and shoot. Doesn't go. Good box out from Alex McNaught, allowing Sam Thompson to come in and get the rebound. And here he is, backing down Hiram Harris. Turnaround jumper. Nick Trathan with a great offensive rebound. Show and go. Thompson from the corner. Doesn't go. Bailey gets the rebound for the Hawks.
And Thompson just can't get the roll at the moment. The ball's halfway down and then popping out.
Jordan Hunt curls into a 3-ball that doesn't go. Marsh with the board. Here's Tyler Marsh. Sam Dempsey getting ready to check back in. Can Sam Thompson find something here? Instead, it's Jared West. Marsh has to fire it up. Does. He gets it to go. Tyler Marsh from the elbow. Timeout by the Hawke's Bay Hawks. The Giants back within 4, 26-22.
Yeah, good to see Tyler Marsh being aggressive there. I think that's one thing that Tyler can do, is he can score the basketball when he decides to actually be aggressive and look at the opportunities. And you see here, nice little penetration to the middle, step back. He's got that nice little left hand, soft touch. Got to love a left hand shooter there, Hugh.
3, 2, 1, go! There it is. There we go.
So the team's talking it over as Labumba sings out around the hanger.
I think for the Giants, something that may work in their advantage is just the tempo of the game. The Hawks are coming off the back of a pretty physical encounter with the Rams. They have had a day off and a day to recover, but I think legs still will be slightly weary, and that may work in the Giants' advantage if they continue to push the ball throughout the majority of the game and see what happens in the last quarter.
One thing I've noticed, Phil, and the Rams got themselves in trouble with this Giants backcourt, just bringing the ball up, and it seems the Hawks just throwing it over the first line of defense to a marauding Hiram Harris.
Yeah, well, they seem to be using their bigs a little more to bring the ball up versus actually throwing it to their guards' hands, which is smart, right? Because a lot of the pressure is coming from Jared West and Alex McNaught. So if you take those guys away from the ball by using other guys to bring it up, then it sort of almost takes away what they're trying to do defensively.
This time it'll be Rokawa. He uses his lightning quick pace to get the ball up over halfway. Rusbatch looks inside the Hunt. Rokawa will step back into a 3-ball. High off the back iron, and Rusbatch gets the rebound. 8 on the shot clock. Again, a step back from Daron Rokawa. Again, it doesn't go. And again, it's an offensive rebound from the Hawks. This time, Quentin Bailey. Rusbatch driving and finishing.
And that's an issue for the Giants, is the defensive rebounds when you haven't got a big on the court. Hawks just being really aggressive on the rebounding side of things.
Marsh around a rarely seen McNaught screen. And here is McNaught, pulls up from the elbow. Pure from Alex McNaught.
Yeah, nice looking shot by Alex. Ball's just popping through hands with the Giants too, which looks really good.
Jordan Hunt spinning, blocked by Dempsey, help defense.
Yeah, nice work by Sam Dempsey there, just getting Jordan Hunt from behind.
Trathan wanders into a 3-ball that doesn't go. Jordan Hunt going at Trathan now. Spinning both ways, every way. Not the finish though. A foul called down low. Wanting to see who the call is on.
There's a real scrap going on down there under the hoop with all of the Giants players trying to keep the Hawks off the boards.
Foul was called on Tyler Marsh, so Ethan Rusbatch at the Rosine foul line. And Ethan Rusbatch with a rare miss.
Yeah, you wouldn't see that happen very often.
Normal business resumes for Rusbatch with the second. 29-24, the Hawks lead the Giants. West sees a slither of a gap and goes at Rokawa. Is fouled by Derone. So Jerry West will go to the Resines foul line. Looking for his first points in this one.
And he had a good start to the last game here for the Giants. Gerald West knocking down a few threes, and I think the Giants will be hoping the same thing from him tonight. See the aggressive drive to the basket. Rokawa did a pretty good job actually of trying to get back in front of him and contesting at the hoop, just not quite enough.
Chad West makes his first. Good to see a return of the GIN in the background, Phil, who, and I'm not even lying, was out with COVID last week. So good recovery from the end. Certainly absence was noticed by the younger members of the Trafalgar Centre crowd, including my two children last week. 29-26. Rusbatch looks inside. Gerald West almost with the steal, but it will remain Hawks' possession.
Gerald West is crafty, quick, gets around Jordan Hunt there and tips the ball.
Hunt. Oh, maybe had his arm halfway around Sam Dempster's back there, but got away with it. And the Hawks have got the ball straight back. Here's Hiram Harris. Hands it off to Quentin Bailey.
Quentin Bailey passes straight back.
Jared West puts up the three in transition that doesn't go. Rokawa with the ball. And again, it's Hiram Harris who brings the ball up for the Hawks. Rusbatch. Back to Harris, but Jared West read that one. And here he comes. He's got two Hawks ahead of him. Oh, Hiram Harris with a volleyball spike, and then he turns around and lets Jared West know all about it.
I think that may have got blocked twice. You see here just West pushing the ball, and I think Rusbatch gets a little tip, and then Hiram Harris over the top. A-quit. Volleyball terminology.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Probably don't know that from your Welsh background.
It's not a big volleyball nation. Give me all your snooker terms you want, though. Here's Tyler, J Marsh, I should say. His three ball goes down. That's a popular bucket in the Trafalgar Centre for J Marsh.
Yeah, well, it's good to have a young guy come in and make an impact straight away. It makes them feel a lot more comfortable out on the court.
West making Hiram Harris's life hard. Rokawa just dries his hand before he goes to work. Round one Marsh, round the other, finds Quentin Bailey, everything but the finish from the Hawks on that play.
The Giants just being disruptive defensively at the moment. They're switching everything and contesting every pass.
Dempster, catch and shoot from the wing, off the back iron. Collective groan goes round the hanger, and Hiram Harris saunters up with the ball for the Hawks. Jordan Hunt has a height mismatch down low. Oh, Ethan Rusbatch burrows his way into the lane and finishes nicely.
Yeah, and Sam Dempster will be frustrated with himself there. He's had a couple of good looks, and he's generally pretty good at knocking those down.
Tyler Marsh looking to emulate younger brother Jay. This three ball doesn't go. Sam Thompson is ready to check back into the game. Well, Hunt leaves the ball behind on his baseline spin. So here's Jared West running at speed. McNaught skipping into the lane up with the right-handed hook shot. Oh, Rokawa goes up and gets that defensive rebound. Takes it away from Sam Dempster.
Athletic rebound by Rokawa.
Here he is, turning on the jets the other end. Derone Rokawa. West round a Dempster screen. Over the shoulder pass. Sam Dempster's three. Doesn't go. Rebound, Rokawa.
And every one of Sam Dempster's shots has been dead straight at the rim. It's just hitting the back of the iron. Just take a little bit off it.
Bailey looks inside. Jordan Hunt, quick spin of his, blocked by the rim, I think. I should say the backboard. Jared West is fouled and will go to the Rosine line to shoot 2. Which gives a chance for the patient Sam Thompson to come into the game. He's been sitting sideline, waiting a whistle. There will be a timeout before the free throws as we see the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay.
Jared West just using his quickness there to get himself to the basket. And one thing I noticed on the defensive end for the Giants is every time the ball goes into the post, they're sending 2, having to double team just because of the mismatch size. And that's something that I'm sure that Mick Downer is going to talk to his crew about, and making sure that they've got people moving off the ball, being receivers, getting open. Because when you're sending 2 players to the ball, obviously someone's going to be free. That guy needs to make himself known or seen.
35-29 the score. From 7:30 tonight on Sky Sport and live on Prime. Auckland Tuatara will take on the Franklin Bulls. Live from Event Finder Stadium, the North Shore of Auckland. One of the great historical venues of our sport here in New Zealand. You've sunk a few buckets at Event Finder, have you? Or the NSEC as it was known?
Yeah, well, I had obviously played quite a bit through the NBL on the NSEC, and then with the Breakers, with them and then against them. Some good memories, some not so good memories.
It's funny, we mentioned in commentary on Thursday, Phil, with that Tawan AG turnaround jumper, that it was reminiscent of Ekene Ebekwe's championship winning one for the Breakers. And Mick Downer, who reviewed the game afterwards, said thanks for bringing that up because he was coaching on the opposite side that night.
Yeah, it was,
he says we stopped the ball getting to Kurt, we stopped the ball getting to Tom.
Yeah, and I'm sure when AG stepped onto the court against the Rams, he wouldn't have thought he'd be sinking the last shot to win the game.
Jared West at the free throw line gets his first one to drop.
The Giants are doing a good job of just hanging around at the moment. Obviously, 1:20 to go in the second quarter. It's going to be an important minute for them to see if they can stay close.
Just a second ago, and there's been some sort of mishap here from the Hawks under the hoop.
I think Jared Kenny was running to take the ball out of bounds, and AG had already stepped out of bounds, and he threw it to Jared, and Jared jumped out of bounds.
It was a comical look at each other. Have we got away with it?
Yeah.
No, we haven't. As we see here, AG out of bounds, throws it to Kenny, who steps out of bounds. A wry smile from the tall black veteran. And either way, it's Giants ball, and here they are through Jared West.
I think Jared Kenny may need to work on his poker face.
West just shrugs off. Kenny! Step back, 3-ball goes. And a flop warning for West. He puts his thumbs up to Tim Brown. Basket counts. Just a warning for Jared West that salesmanship will not be tolerated by referee Tim Brown. 1 point game just like that, Phil. With a minute to go in this first half. Harris. Dempster does well to put up a wall and force a travel.
I think they've done a good job on Hiram Harris the first part of the game. Really made an emphasis to keep him on his right hand, getting him off his left hand, which is a strong side. See here, Sam Dempster just dragging that pivot foot. Got another timeout here. Team's just going to discuss the last 54 seconds of the quarter.
Thanks to GJ Gardner, always got balls up the way.
1 point, less than a minute to go. Well, we saw just now, Phil, that turnaround coming from a mistake underneath the basket from the Hawks, and well, we saw something similar, didn't we, the other night on Thursday with the Rams, with that turnover in the third quarter, early in the fourth quarter. Tawane G stealing the ball with Mike Kadina under the hoop, and just those little moments can change a game.
Yeah, often people look at the last possessions of games to sort of say that they're the defining moments, but there's so many defining moments throughout the course of a game that you could look back on and go, well, if this didn't happen, or if this happened, or this did happen, and it had a big impact.
You think back to, we looked through the Rams-Hawks game just this morning, and a foul in the backcourt that Max Darling committed early on. If that hadn't, which was a cheap foul, if he hadn't done that, he might have been there at the end of the game.
That's right,
fouling out, but. Not to circle on Max, who had a great game and impacted well and is playing very well at the moment.
Yeah, but that's obviously a learning lesson for him, and saying, well, giving away cheap fouls and for everybody, and particularly when you're sort of a dominant player or a prominent player on a team, you don't want to give those fouls away.
Nick Trathon. Oh, just lost the handle there. Maybe a hand from Jordan Hunt dislodging it. Here's AG. Marauding his way up the court, somehow getting a pass over to Ethan Rusbatch, whose floater doesn't go. Rebound by Thompson. 25 seconds to go in the first half.
AG just showing a really good skill set there of putting the ball on the floor and pushing it. Always nice to have a big man leading the break.
It's about a 1 second differential shot clock and game clock, so the Giants holding for what will essentially be the last shot of the quarter. West, step back three, gets it to go, Jared West. And he gives the Trafalgar Centre crowd something to cheer about on the buzzer at halftime. 37-35, the Giants lead the Hawks. And Jared West is pumped up, as are the Nelson Giants. They'll go into the sheds with a 2-point lead. And we can head over to Phil and hear from the newest Nelson Giant, Sam Thompson.
Sam, pretty good first half for you guys. Obviously no Trey Morning. What have you been told you need to do to help the team get a win?
Our identity is playing hard, playing tough, and defending well. No matter who's on the floor. Obviously, Trey's the MVP right now. He's a big guy to have to replace, but we can always play hard, defend, and play with intensity, and that's what we're going to do.
Good job. Good luck for the second half. Thank you. Got Jared Kenny. Jared, pretty tough first half, pretty physical. What are your thoughts on the first half? What do you need to do in the second half to get the win?
I think it's more about us and what they're doing. Obviously, offensive rebounds. They're making a lot of shots, but I think defensively we're a little bit flat. We don't have that energy. We just got to come out, play with a bit more intent, and I think we'll be all right.
Good luck for the second half, mate. Cheers.
Thank you, Phil. The halftime entertainment gets underway here at the Trafalgar Centre. We will take a break and be back with some analysis and some stats. 37-35, the Giants lead the Hawks. See you after the break.
Go in the second break. I couldn't hear the interview, really good.
You couldn't hear it? Yes.
What does Sam say?
He was really good actually. I just sort of said to him, obviously no Trey Morning. You guys want to know what's coach told you about what you need to do to bring the team to help the team to win. He was like, just took off. Did a really good job.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Nice answer. Nice and well answer.
Americans are.
Yeah.
They can talk.
Yeah.
What's going on here? It's just Wayne's lot. Yes. Celebrate.
And magic blue. Also in the sun.
Oh yeah, around the band.
8 seconds.
8 seconds.
That's a violation.
8 seconds. It's like a triple.
Just like a goalkeeper back here, look.
Irish With a nice pass forward. Stephanie Kinley. Around the Jessica roll.
Bucket out.
Yeah.
40 seconds, right?
Well, live look into the Nelson Giants locker room. Halftime here. They lead the Hawks 37-35. Welcome back to our Sky Sport coverage. Hugh Baden here alongside Phil Jones. And Phil, no Trey Morning for the Giants, so they'll be pretty happy where they are going into halftime with the lead.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they've done a good job of being really disruptive. You know, we knew they were going to put a lot of pressure on defensively, but oh, look at that number up there. But you know, I think what they've done well is any time that one of the bigs from the Hawks has got the ball, they've just been really disruptive in regards to making them have to make an extra pass, or they've got to shoot over two players. And you know, when you got younger, smaller guys running at you, it makes it a little bit tough.
Chad West leading the way after a quiet start to the first quarter, and then he put the Giants on his back somewhat in the second. Ethan Rusbatch, Hiram Harris will be going through their work, and you know, Hiram Harris yet to score, Phil, but averaging just under 12 points, but also 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, a couple blocks. He's always involved in every facet of the game.
Yeah, and I think, you know, often with him, as he gets more experience in the game, I think he's potentially a triple-double waiting to happen, you know, because he can do so many things. But the Giants have done an extremely good job of keeping him quiet, and I think we'll see a different Hiram Harris in the second half, I'm sure. Jared Kinney really made a comment about, I think he felt that they were just a little bit, didn't feel like they were upbeat enough, you know, and into the game enough, and they were just a little bit sort of on the back foot. And I'm sure they're going to come out the aggressor in the second half, but they will need to.
Well, we know that Giants hang their hats on the defensive end in 2022, keeping the Hawks to 35 at halftime. The Hawks averaging just around 80 points a game. So on track to be 10 short. So Coach Mike Fitcher there, as he gives the last instructions to his side, will be very conscious of the defensive effort so far.
That's one way, I suppose, to make up some of the loss of Trey Morning's 28 points is just not allow the other team to score many. Then you don't have to score many yourself.
37-35, the Giants lead the Hawks. Halftime here in the 5:30 game on Sal's NBL Saturday night. Third quarter to come after the break.
So well done to tonight's players, all the Division 2 teams at the league. Here to play for us at half-time.
Giants, no one wants to play him. Yeah, Jared and Alex. It's whether they can do it on the road. Good run home games, and they get a win today. The competition is just doing it on the road.
I reckon they'll do it on the road just as easy as I reckon. Yeah, well, even the first half should turn to this. Because everybody's going to go, oh, well, they've got a morning start. 10:30, and as long as we stop it, we win.
Once again, a big thank you for coming along and supporting your team tonight, the Mighty Nelson Giants. Don't forget, of course, next game, a couple of weeks away, we take on the Franklin Bulls on the 11th of June. You can get those tickets now online. If you scan the QR code in your program, you can get it that way. Somebody tonight, if you cast your mind back, if you were here last week, of course there was one man that made the shot from halfway and took away $1,500 cash, thanks to Mike Hero. Mike Hero Mortgages and Mike Hero Real Estate. We're doing it again. We always like to spot real supporters that have the merchandise on. So shooting from halfway with a chance to win tonight, there's one man that I know is a huge Giant supporter and has been for a long, long time. Cowan, mate, do you reckon you could shoot a shot from halfway and that was $500? I'll tell you what, you're going to give it a crack at half-time, okay? Yes, please. Have a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. 3/4 time. Cowan is going to have a crack at it for $500 cash. There you go, Carlin. He's a happy man. $500 cash could be his. And I got to say, happy birthday.
Welcome back to the Trafalgar Centre. The third quarter just over a minute away. The Giants against the Hawks. A 2-point game, a low-scoring game. Hugh Baden here alongside Phil Jones. We're getting used to low-scoring games here at the Trafalgar Centre in 2022, aren't we, as the defensive end of the ball is so prominent. There's a couple of Moppets enjoying their Sal's Pizza at halftime. Where's the commentator Sal's Pizza? I didn't know that was a thing.
Exactly. Yeah, it's definitely another low-scoring event. But, you know, that's what the Giants are hanging their hat on, and they're trying to keep teams to as low as possible, which you know, they've done well in the first half against a pretty potent offensive team in the Hawks, and I'm sure that they'll come out a different looking team in the second half.
Ethan Rusbatch averages just under 20 points a game. We haven't seen enough of Tawane G to see how his scoring output's going to go. Jordan Hunt's averaging 17 points a game, has just 6 at halftime. Hiram Harris averages 12 points a game, has 0 at halftime, which may slightly worry if you're a Nelson Giants fan, because you know there's still some Hiram Harris to come in this game.
Yeah, no, it was pretty evident in the game on Thursday night in the second half. Hiram really decided to apply himself on the game, and all of a sudden there was a little bit of, I suppose, back and forth between him and Max Darling, and I think that almost awoke a sleeping giant in Hiram Harris, and he all of a sudden woke up and took over and really pushed the Hawks to a win at the end of that game there.
Here come the Hawks back out onto the court, and the Giants, Rokawa, Rusbatch, Harris and Hunt for the Hawks, and Jared Kenny too. West, McNaught, Thompson, Dempster and Schwalger for the Giants. So the starters are out there.
And Jared West has quietly got himself to 10 points. He's the leading scorer for the Giants in the game, and he's also got 6 rebounds, which you think for a guy of his stature is pretty good. Particularly when you take someone like Trey Morning out of the game. I think he had 37 and 17 in the last game.
He did, against the Rams.
That's some big numbers you've got to fill when you lose a guy like that. Just got a bit of an issue with the
bit of discussion around the game clock from the referees. But we will get back underway.
Missing a second, we could all saw what happened with the second on the clock on Thursday night.
So the Hawks back into it through Rokawa. Here's Hiram Harris. Will he look to get himself going early? Finds Ethan Raspach. Good offensive board from Jordan Hunt. Goes to work on Schwager, blocked by Schwager, but Harris is there. And tumbles to the ground with Sam Dempster on top of him. And Dempster's called for the foul. TJ Gardner replay. See Hiram Harris just
little ankle tap by Sam Dempster there.
Reads the ball so well though, Harris, doesn't he, on those boards?
He found the softest part of the floor, which was Hiram Harris's back.
Hunt to Rokawa. Driving high off the glass because he knew Schwager was looming. Hiram Harris is called for the foul, this time on Dempster, so those two trading fouls from the last drive.
Yeah, a little bit more intent there from the Hawks, just trying to be a bit more aggressive at the basket, both Rokawa and Harris.
Alex McNaught will bring the ball up, Jared Kenny in tow.
This is something we didn't see from the Hawks in the first half too, was a little bit more extended pressure from their guards on the Giants guards.
Dempster looking for someone to deputise to, and finds Jared West. 4 on the shot clock for West. Trying to draw the contact. Oh, there's Sam Thompson in the right place, but blocked by the rim, and Raspach comes away with it. A messy possession from the Giants. Here's Jordan Hunt spinning, and that's a nice move from Jordan Hunt.
Yeah, a little bit too easy for Hunt down low there.
Schwager looking to hand it off to someone, finds Sam Thompson. Offensive foul, illegal screen on Schwager.
Jordan Schwager just turning the derriere there and getting it caught.
Here's Jordan Hunt, outside the arc, finding Jared Kenny. Kenny looks to toss it up to Hunt. McNaught trying to stop any motion from Hunt, does so. And away come the Giants through Thompson. Yet to score, Sam Thompson on debut here for the Giants. Will this be the drive? Harris with some great defense. And Hunt with the rebound.
Sam Dempster doing a good job there, just
disrupting the Hawks as they bring the ball up the court. Raspach down the lane, right down Blood Nose Alley there for Ethan Raspach.
We haven't seen Raspach knock down many threes, but we've seen him do quite a few layups tonight. Being really aggressive, getting to the hoop.
Certainly an uptick in intensity from the Hawke's Bay Hawks in this third quarter as Sam Thompson can't get it to go. Kenny eventually comes down with the rebound. And here's Rokawa running it west. Travel the call.
And Sam Thompson was ready to spike that ball out of the Trafalgar Centre.
Been some pretty brutal blocks out there in this game. That one didn't count, of course. Travel came first, but the crowd enjoyed it nonetheless. West over to Sam Dempster. Can he get the scoring going for the Giants in the second half? He certainly can. The captain for 3.
Sam will be pleased to see that one go down. Had a few good looks in the first half.
Kenny into the lane, looking to drop it off to Jordan Hunt. We saw that work very well on Thursday night. One of the Hawks guards just working his way to the rim and then dropping off to Jordan Hunt around the back of a defender. West. McNaught gets a good step on Raspach, and there's that high off the glass layup from Alex McNaught.
A crafty little one-step layup with a soft touch at the rim.
Harris is fouled as he barracks his way to the rim. We'll see who the call's going to be on. It is on Sam Thompson, his second foul. Jared Kenny makes his way to the bench for the Hawks. Derek Albertson back into the game.
And Hiram Harris took 2 shots in the first half. This is one way to get himself going, is get himself to the Razim foul line.
This is the first. Coach and captain have a chat from the Hawks.
3, 2, 1.
Gets his second to go.
We're all tied up.
42 apiece. 6.5 to go in the third quarter.
See the Hawks fall back into a zone again.
West to McNaught. Skips then to the lane. Out to Thompson. His 3-ball is short. Goes and gets his own rebound though. The floater also short. Again gets his rebound. This time through the contact. Just can't get it to go, Sam Thompson, as he throws his head back in frustration. Rusbach in transition for 3. That rattles in.
Dagger. Giants get 3 cracks at it, and then the Hawks come down with 1 pass. Open 3.
One of the most potent shooters in the league as well. As McNaught finds Thompson. He'll be praying for his next shot to drop. Catch and shoot from Dempster from the wing. That one goes. Well, Sam Dempster knows a thing or two about the hoops at the Trafalgar Centre.
He does, but the Giants got to be a little bit more organised on their offensive end there. They're sort of looking, they're just sort of standing around looking at each other going, what are we running?
Rokawa finds himself in a lot of space, and he capitalises on it with a 3. And 3 is the margin at the moment, 48-45, midpoint of the third quarter. Jared West from free throw line range, can't get it to go. Hiram Harris takes out a table and gives away possession, and he might have knocked over a drink, so we may have just a minute
I think,
to clean up a spillage here.
Must be knocked over almost the whole table by the hooks of it. Dives into the replay. And yeah,
there's an apology from Hiram to the table as well, which is nice to see.
Hopefully that table brought a change of clothes.
Table from Bowater Toyota, I believe.
It was very nearly Craig Hamilton from Mike Petto that caught Hiram Harris.
And we're going the other way around this time.
So the teams will talk it over as the court is cleaned up. And the Hawks have come out certainly with an uptick in intensity in this second half, Phil, and the Giants maybe looking a little bit lost on offense.
Yeah, I think just the changing defense of the Hawks, you know, the Hawks putting a bit of pressure on initially, full court, and then all of a sudden dropping back into a zone. You do need to be organised as a team to understand where you've got to be, particularly when you're going from zone to man and back to zone. You've got to see that stuff, and it's hard for a coach to be able to instruct their team from the sideline. It really needs to come from the point guards. They're the organisers out there. They're the coaches on the floor.
Giant right in the middle of that huddle. What's it like when you're in a huddle and you look over your shoulder trying to maintain game focus, and there's a huge camouflaged ant just over your shoulder?
I can't say the ant got into our timeouts very often.
I can't imagine that Nina Vucinic would allow that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it may have been the last sighting of the ant if that had happened.
The head floating down the Mai Tai River. Back underway. There's Jared West. Schwalger back out there. Sets a screen for West. Back to Dempster. Heavily contested for Dempster. Thompson called for the illegal push-off. So the basket won't count. Third foul on Sam Thompson. We'll see on the GG Gardner Homes replay. And we won't see it, but we see Hiram Harris hit the deck.
It's a little bit off screen. But what I was impressed with was the verticality of Sam Thompson straight after the push on Harris. He was right up by the rim, tapping that ball into the basket.
Daron Rokau out there having a laugh on the court, as he tends to do. And it's Hiram Harris who brings the ball up. Sam Dibs has done a good job on him so far tonight. As Raspach looks to drive. Pass through it. Dashing Albertson, but goes out of bounds, and it's come out of bounds off the hands of a Nelson Giant. As Nick Trathan comes back into the game. Schwalger takes the seat.
I think Sam Thompson thought he was coming out there for a second.
Harris, Albertson for three. High up the back iron, AG with the rebound. Fires it out. Oh, Hiram Harris just on the fingertips. Keeps that ball in bounds. Rokawa, that is a rapid first step from Daron Rokawa.
Absolute jets as he took off there. And Alex McNaughton's not a slow guy. He looked like he was standing in sand when he took off.
Thompson from mid-range. He gets it to go, and he shrugs a sigh of relief to Sam Thompson. His first bucket as a Nelson Giant. He does have 8 rebounds, and also 3 fouls.
It's good to see that he hasn't got...
Rokawa thought a few times about that 3 and eventually gets it to go.
All I could do there was groan as I saw the Giants walk away from Rokawa standing on the 3-point line.
53-47. The Hawks lead. Will that bucket be the one that gets Sam Thompson going? As Nick Trathan skips into the lane, hands it off to McNaught. High bound. Trathan with the athletic offensive rebound, and the shot clock resets to 14. 9 to go on it as West drives down the floater. Rebound by AG. Dempster with a steal. And Jared West increasingly frustrated, it seems, by not getting a call in the lane. Thompson draws a foul of Hiram Harris. It's Hiram's 3rd foul.
There's definitely a little bit of contact that's going uncalled here. It is both ways, but I think one of the things that I thought that was something that would be looked at or definitely be taken care of is the shooters. You know, anytime a shooter is going to the basket, they're the ones to be protected. And I think Jared West there just heading down the lane may have felt a little bit of contact. I was hoping for the call.
Well, he likes to put defenders on his back, doesn't he? There's Trathan's 3 ball. It's good.
That's called, the terminology is calling putting them in jail.
Putting them in jail?
Yeah, so go off the screen and get them on there.
Basket counts, and Daron Rokawa will go to the Racine foul line. Foul called on Dempster. And Rokawa, as he has a knack of doing, just sucks the air out of the opposing team's gym.
He's really come to life in the last few minutes. Aggressive getting to the basket, knocking down a few threes.
That was one of the great moments of last year. If you're a Hawks fan, I was lucky enough to be in the building against the Giants after a great game. Fiercely fought game. And Rokawa coast to coast buzzer beater. West around the Thompson screen, drives, foul is called this time on Quinton Bailey, and Jared West will go to the Racine foul line to shoot 2.
He's slightly frustrated with himself there, West, because I think he felt like he had a wide open layup. He'd done all the hard work to get into the paint. We just see him here. Great little burst of speed. Yeah, he just probably felt he should have converted that 2 points. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from West in the last few games. Came out, first game, didn't score too many points. Defensively, he was a pest, and every game since then he's really built on that sort of first outing, and I think he's really fitting into the Giants nicely and really sparing that attack on defense.
Makes both his free throws. Interesting stat line developing for Jared West, Phil. 12 points. 6 rebounds, 6 assists. 2 minutes 20 to go in the 3rd quarter.
triple-double watch?
Well, I didn't want to say it. Roko cops a fair bit of contact from Thompson. 3 straight out in front from Derone. He rattles it in. He smiles over at the Giants bench.
It reminds me a little bit of Damian McKenzie, you know, lining up to shoot, kick the goals. Just smiling as he lets the ball go.
West, his turn. Can he fire back with a 3? This one doesn't go. AG with the boards. Foul by Nick Trathan.
It's a tough foul because that sends the Hawks to the line, to the Racine foul line. I like Trathan's intent, but probably just not his aggression on picking up that foul.
So Tawan AG is at the Racine line, looking to add to this 7-point lead the Hawks currently hold over the Giants.
And he's been good from the foul line in both games, both against the Rams and here against the Giants.
Yet to see Hawke's Bay is Tawan AG. He misses his second. But it will be Hawks ball off the hand of Nick Trathan as Ev Bartlett returns to the game. Rokawa looking for someone, finding Bailey. Not the finish though from Quentin Bailey, and Riley Benjamin snatches the ball out of midair. And the Trafalgar Centre crowd winning their Giants on at the end of this third quarter. West somehow gets it to sneak in over the hoop.
Impressive finish by West. I think Coach Fitch is really getting frustrated with the lack of calls, particularly on the defensive end for the Giants, and when they're trying to rebound.
Well, Rusback somehow keeps that in. And it will be Giants ball. Evra Bartlett got a hospital pass there, I think, and did his best.
He did, yeah. And Giants defense again coming out with the turnover.
Yeah. Well, the turnovers certainly don't mirror the score, Phil. As Jared West will stutter step back into a 3. He gets it to go. He's fired up as Jared West. 14 turnovers from the Hawks, just 4 from the Giants.
Yeah, the Giants are doing a good job of looking after the basketball.
The shooting percentages, as you can imagine, the correlation goes the other way. Good defense from a mixture of Benjamin and Thompson. Riley Benjamin still harassing Ethan Rusbatch out there. And they look to settle it down through Tawan AG. And we saw that shot on Thursday night. This time it doesn't go. Sam Dempster corrals the rebound.
Another good defensive possession by the Giants.
And a bit of feeling here in the Trafalgar Centre as time comes down, and that will count. And to the line will go Jared West to convert an N1 opportunity with a chance to tie this game up. 23 seconds to go in the third quarter.
And Jared West is the smallest big man on the court right now. He is pumped. Well, he's really taken the game over in the last few possessions.
Tawan AG arguing his case. Jared West
questioning the contact, where the contact came from, who initiated it.
Jared West cares not. As he ties this ball game up. So the Hawks will just make their way up the court, knowing that they'll hope to take the last shot. Rokawa. Oh, there it is. Jared West with the steal, and he's all alone. Jared West. The Hawks trying to rush it. West is there again. AG trying to sell a foul. 3-quarter time. The Trafalgar Centre is in love with Jared West right now. We see a quick replay here. Hand. And away he goes. And again, the Giants finished a quarter on a high, having trailed for most of it. 62-60. Fourth quarter coming up after the break.
So much fun to watch.
Thank you. One shot. One shot from halfway. If he makes it, $500 cash is his. You've done this before, right? You've done it? Okay. You can do this, mate. Do you want lots of noise or do you want it quiet? You want some noise? He wants some noise, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, we're going to sort you out with a couple of shots and substitutes, but well done. Give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Very close, very close. Good work.
Gentlemen, and for those listening on the live stream, I need the bathroom. There's no two ways about it.
Next week, $1,000 cash is up for grabs. Could be yours. You've got a good chance of having a crack if you're wearing Giants merch. Of course, that merch is available right now in the foyer. You grab yours, grab your cigarette, and you never know you can be shooting at 3/4 time next week, or this game, which is a couple of weeks on the 11th, where we take on Forwards.
Welcome back to the Trafalgar Centre. We have a thriller on our hands here with a quarter to go. Jared West has wheeled the Nelson Giants back into a slender 2-point lead at the end of the third quarter. As the Hawke's Bay Hawks look to round out one of the toughest road trips in the 2022 NZNBL with 2 wins.
Yeah, just watching that last possession of the third quarter, right in front of us, we see Jared West guarding Jerome Rokawa, and it just looked like he was waiting just for the opportunity to steal the basketball, and sure enough, gets a tip on the ball and he's off to the races. And then the very next position, he's trying to get it again. You know, real live wire, Jared West, and he is doing a great job tonight out there for the Giants.
In the absence, of course, of Trey Morning, out with the flu. But the Giants doing okay so far without their top scorer, the competition's top scorer, in fact. Here's Tyler Marsh. Trathan looking to rip and go baseline. Back to Sam Thompson. He'd love to see that go in, and it does. And the hanger erupts.
Made the last 2 in a row now, Thompson. Just needed to break the seal, and then he was good to go.
West all over Jared Kinney. AG will go to work on Sam Dempster. Looking to shrug the caps out the way. Does. Gets his own rebound and puts it straight back in.
I think Sammy's a little sore after that. He definitely caught possibly a little bit of an elbow to the ribs.
West around the Thompson screen. Fires it over to Trathan. One step too many from Nick Trathan there, as the first pass wasn't available for him.
The Hawks looking to go down low again.
Rusbach 3 doesn't go from the corner.
Sam Thompson, great job of boxing out AG.
West putting the moves, puts Roko in jail, and this time he gets the call. The call on Derone.
West just clutching his thumb, his left hand.
Third foul for Rokawa, who heads to the bench. Just had his hand on West's hip there as he went round the screen. Tyler Marsh, one of several Giants out of Waimea College. West, 3 ball goes up. Who's coming down with that one? Everard Bartlett is. Mick Downer screaming for a flop after a warning was given earlier in the game to West.
Nick Trathan doing a good job of crashing the boards at the moment. So really trying to get a second chance opportunity for the Giants.
AG going to work on Thompson. 3 fouls Sam Thompson has at the moment. Make it 4. As Tawan AG will head to the free throw line.
Yeah, Sam Thompson, tough there for him, but I think right call by Tim Brown. There's always one of those ones I've sort of talked to the referees about nicely, as I always did. When you're taking contact from an offensive player in the chest or in the stomach, it's quite hard to keep your hands straight up. Often you find yourself being bent over, or the contact is forcing the arms down just because of momentum. So it is a hard one for the referees to call.
AG splits his free throws, and it's a 2-point game. 8 minutes to go. Do we have another finish akin to the one we saw on Thursday night in Christchurch on our hands, Phil Jones? Don't forget the Tuatara take the Bulls on at Event Finder Stadium. After this one at 7:30. Is that pass just out of the reach of Jordan Schwalger?
Yeah, I thought that was kicked out. It was just thrown straight out of bounds by Tyler Marsh.
Comes Hiram Harris. It's 1 point to his name in this game. 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Everard Bartlett wanted to shoot the 3 instead. Puts it on the floor. He's fouled. I'm just waiting to see who the foul is attributed to. Jordan Schwalger. So to the Racine foul line goes Everard Bartlett. Makes his first. We're all tied up, 65 apiece. Jared West has both Rustmatch and Kenny on him as the Hawks settle into their zone. Tyler Marsh with a quick first step. Stops on a dime, turn around, but Hiram Harris is ready for him.
Yeah, nice defense there by Harris.
Foul down low. Tawan AG maybe just using his extra few years of experience to draw a foul off young Jordan Schwalger.
I'm not sure there was much Schwalger could do there. It looked like AG just had Schwalger's arm locked under his...
Jordan Schwalger has fouled out of the game. So he trudges to the bench. Jay Marsh back into the game. And he might have the weight help on AG, and he does well, considering he has given up a lot in the height department.
He is.
It's Hawks ball. The Giants will feel like they're currently under siege, under their own hoop.
Yeah, and there's real emphasis on from the Hawks to try and get the ball down into the low post. They definitely have a mismatch height-wise.
But let me tell you, Jay Marsh's nickname is Beef. And AG goes at the one they call Beef. West comes to help. Great pass from AG. Jerry Kinney thought about the 3. This man never thinks twice, Everard Bartlett, but it was after the buzzer. Shot clock violation.
Yeah, good position of defense here from the Giants, just making the Hawks make the extra pass. We saw the double team come when AG had the ball in the post. See a timeout here for the Giants.
Hawks, I think, went down and called the timeout. 65 apiece, and Jay Marsh makes his way back to the bench and receives the high fives after his defensive exploits, and the Hawks will talk it over.
It's been one of those games where neither team has really been able to get away from the other team. Probably, I think the biggest lead we've had is about 6-7 points, maybe. And then the other team manages to claw itself back into the game.
Run down some stats for you, Phil. The Hawks leading the rebounds by 12, 43-31. But the turnovers, they've also committed 10 more, 16-6, than the Giants. So some telling stats there.
And that's definitely one thing that's keeping the Giants in the game is the extra turnovers that the Hawks have made. You know, if the Hawks can tidy that side of it up, it means extra possessions, extra shots, and potentially extra points, and that could be the difference in the game.
See Finn Delaney in the top right of your screen. Not playing in the NZNBL this year, but hope to see him in the black jersey in the coming months. Keen Nelson Giant fan.
I'd love to see him in a Nelson Giants jersey again. That would be brilliant.
Back underway. Alex McNaught now back out there for the Giants. Picked up his dribble. He gets it straight back. Finds Jared West. Here's Dempster. High post. 6 on the shot clock. West is going to have to do something. Finds Dempster. Shrugs off Harris. Can't get it to go. Who's going to come down with it? Oh, Jared Kenny. Using every day of his 19 years experience on that play.
Yeah, great little job by Kenny there, just throwing it off Jay Marsh's feet and out of bounds. It's been a while since we've seen Jordan Hunt in the game.
Back out there now for the Hawks with Kenny, Bartlett, Harris and AG. And they go straight inside to one AG. Sam Dempster has to look after him and just is bullied off the ball by AG.
And it looked like he just flat out pushed Dempster out of the way there. And Dempster was surprised there was no call.
The Hawks, though, have a 2-point lead as Jay Marsh's 3 from the corner doesn't go. AG with the rebound. And here's Jordan Hunt. Foul called on Marsh.
Puts the Giants on 14 fouls, so the Hawks will be shooting free throws for the rest of the game.
Harris as they look inside for AG. And that's who they go to. He goes up against Marsh again. Marsh forces him into a fadeaway, but there's Jordan Hunt with the offensive rebound. The baby hook, and it goes.
Yeah, tough one for the Giants. The Hawks have got 2 big men out there. It's either one of them's trying to shoot it and the other one's trying to get the rebound.
Trathan splitting through the defense back to West. 3 ball from way out in front. Doesn't go. Good hand from Jordan Hunt, and here come the Hawks the other way. Harris and Kenny combining. Hunt wants to trail into a 3. No, he doesn't. Oh, Haim Harris, good patience under the hoop and 2 points. And the Hawks pull away to a 6-point lead. Under 5 minutes to go.
And this is where we've seen the other team that's trailing manage to fight their way back into the game.
Trathan, that's short, his 3 ball. And AG with the rebound. Timeout coming from the Giants, but they want to go into that with a stop. As AG sizes up Jay Marsh, goes to work on him. Harris with the offensive board, another offensive rebound. And another one for the Hawks with a holding foul. Jay Marsh holding AG's jersey, and we will have the timeout now.
A little bit of confusion about what's happening.
There it is, the timeout before the shots will be taken. And the Hawks just putting the slightest slither of daylight between them and the Giants, Phil, with 4.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, and their tactic is just throw the ball down into the post and let their big guys go to work. And the Giants have done a pretty good job against that up until now. But it seems like the lineup the Giants have got out of there at the moment are just struggling a bit to contain them. the other thing that's sort of happened for the Giants too is they've just slowed down offensively. They seem to have stagnated a bit with the Hawks changing up their defense again. Switching between man-to-man and zone. In the last few possessions, they've been playing a zone defense, and that's sort of confusing the Giants a bit about how or what they should be doing to get into their offense.
A big thank you to DJ Gale. He supplies from the balls in every home game. Give away.
I'm interested to see what lineup Mike Fitchett puts out on the floor now after having Jay Marsh out there clearly for the defensive end. Now they find themselves 6 points down. Will Sam Thompson make a return into the game?
He's sitting on 4 fouls, I think, Thompson. I think he's probably trying to protect him a little bit. But sometimes you just have to throw caution to the wind, and here we see Sam Thompson stepping out onto the court
with Trathan, West, McNaught, and Sam Dempster, who has 13 points and 6 rebounds. The Giants captain, 3 steals as well.
I think from a defensive point of view, I think Thompson definitely has done the best job on the bigs from the Hawks. Unfortunately, he's picked up a couple of fouls away from the ball, which is, again, what we talked about with the Max Darling side of things and him picking up that sort of cheap foul. Those cheap fouls can really come back to bite you towards the end of the game.
AG continues his good form from the Racine. What can Jaron West inspire of the Giants in the last 4 minutes, 15 seconds of this game? He looks inside to Thompson. Thompson's got Hiram Harris on him. And Hiram Harris forces the turnover.
Quick hands by Harris here, just pokes the ball away. And the Hawks just doing a little switcheroo on defense here, showing zone, and as soon as the ball went in the post, it goes back to man-to-man.
AG with a grown man move there, the baseline spin and the finish. Juwan AG has 19 points and 10 rebounds. The Giants need some scoring, they need it quick. Here's Alex McNaught dropping it into Thompson. With a foul call, Jerry Kenny just holding back Sam Thompson. Just a second personal for Jerry Kenny.
I think the jet lag has set in for Juwan AG. He is looking pretty tired as he walks off the court.
Bench, and Ethan Rasmet skips on, looking anything but tired. Dempster turns the corner, drives to Jordan Hunt. Who's come down that rebound? Oh, Hiram Harris has, of course he has.
It's a hard man to rebound over and then let alone try and snatch the ball out of his hands when he's got it.
Ninth rebound for Harris. Rokawa's 3 would be a dagger. Doesn't go. Rebounded by Trathan. Just over 3 minutes to go. The Giants down by 10. Thompson over to McNaught from the wing. Alex McNaught gets it to go.
And that was one that had to go in for the Giants. 2 minutes 50 left on the clock, and they've got to start taking every opportunity they can to score.
Harris driving McNaught. 5 on the shot clock for Jerry Kenny as he goes down the lane. Oh, Jerry Kenny with a delightful finish.
So much composure as he just drives down the lane. I hear a shot clock buzzer go off or something. Everyone's slightly confused as what's happening.
9-point game. 2 minutes 25 on the clock. West, Trathan in rhythm. Back iron. Jared West with the rebound. Wants the screen and gets it from Thompson. Sam Thompson turns down the 3, drives and is clattered by a couple of Hawks. No whistle.
A lot of contact there. No call.
Harris. Back to Rokawa. 5 on the shot clock. Jordan Hunt fires it over to Rusbach. There's that quick release from Ethan Rusbach. It doesn't go though, and Dempster brings down the board.
Coach Mike Fitchett having a really good chat to referee Corey Hogg there.
West, the Giants need it to go, and it does. A glimmer of hope with 1:30 to go. For these fans at the Trafalgar Centre. Mike Fitchett bellows instructions as Jordan Hunt fires it out to Jared Kinney. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Rokawa turns Sam Dempster the wrong way.
Tough shot, steers down the Giants bench as he wanders back.
Big time basketball from Daron Rokawa. West to Thompson. He drives, looks to fire it out to Alex McNaught. McNaught again with the underhand layup, and he gets it to go. Under a minute. 6 points. The Hawks know the clock is their 6th man right now. And Jerry Kenny just slows proceedings down, waits for a screen. 4 on the shot clock. He looks to dump it inside to Jordan Hunt. There's Jordan Hunt. There's a foul. Onto the Racine foul line he goes. And he may have just iced the game for the Hawke's Bay Hawks.
The foul was on Alex McNaught, I think. Just coming over and help side Alex and just getting his hand caught in the cookie jar as we see a little pick and roll action. Throw the ball over and Alex just finding himself in the wrong spot. Potentially slightly soft compared to some of the recent contact we've seen.
Hunt gets his free throw to go. Timeout is called. 36.7 seconds. 9 points, Phil. Doable. Well, the Hawks doable, heading back to Napier with 2 wins from their road trip.
I think a lot depends on this possession right here.
If they do hold on, they will join the Otago Nuggets with a 5-2 record.
It's a 5:30 tip-off once again. You can get your tickets at Flickit, giants.flickit.co.nz, or you can use the QR code in your program. Tickets are already selling very fast for that game too. So
as Mick Downer talks to the Hawke's Bay Hawks team, another chance to mention Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa. Sponsored by GJ Gardner Homes, coming away from June 29. 5 brand new professional franchises. From the northern Kahu down to the southern Hoiho. World-class women's basketball coming your way live on Sky Sport from the end of June. 8-week competition that will culminate here, Phil, in this building, with the Final 4 at the end of August.
Yeah, exciting to see women's basketball sort of stepping up into the limelight, and it's going to be great to see some top-notch games coming up in the near future.
For now, can the Nelson Giants work their way back into this game? And what would be a near miracle? Jared West skips into the lane. The floater doesn't go. Rebounded by Hiram Harris. And here they come. Daron Rokawa has had a say on this game with his 19 points.
I think the Giants have conceded the defeat here, not looking to foul.
Hiram Harris hasn't troubled the scorers too much tonight. Does have 10 rebounds. As Thompson fires one up, and that'll do it. The Hawke's Bay Hawks join the Otago Nuggets at the top of the Sal's NBL ladder. After a productive road trip to Canterbury, to Nelson, a dramatic win at Cal Stadium, and a professional, patient win here against the Nelson Giants. The Nelson Giants team who will be disappointed now, but once they lick their wounds and realise how well they did without Trey Morning, they might be less unhappy. Let's hear from Daron Rokawa, who's with Phil Jones.
Daron, pretty successful trip for you guys, 2 out of 2, Canterbury and now the Giants. Took you guys a while to get going in that in the game here. What happened in the locker room with the Mick?
Oh, yeah, I mean, we had a bit of a team talk, sort of not worrying about, oh, we can get it done. Just, you know, we sort of got told a little bit, but it was good. We needed that. Yeah, we came out in the 3rd and 4th quarter and really showed what we could do.
Yeah, it looked like you had a real intent of trying to get the ball into the post. Obviously, there with no Trey Morning, there's a bit of a mismatch, so that was a focus for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we were gutted when we heard, because obviously you want to play them at their strength, at their strongest sort of thing. So, but, you know, hope he gets over that sickness and we can play him next time.
Hey, well done. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Cheers.
Daron Rokawa with 19 points, a heap of them coming in that 4th quarter as he iced the game and took it away from a valiant Giants side without their lead scorer. But plenty to think about for the Giants as they stand at mid-court. They now have a 3-2 record, while the Hawks improved to 5-2. So we have a look at the tail of the tape. Jared West kept the Giants in it and had them leads at halftime and 3-quarter time, Phil.
Yeah, and that would have been you know, making Coach McDonough pretty frustrated with the fact that they couldn't get away from the Giants. It took them a while to do it, but obviously the better team on the night got away. I think without Trey Morning, that really left probably a gap too big to fill, to be fair. Sam Thompson you know, featured in the blocks, showing his athleticism. Sam Dempster up there in the steals. Like, I think from a perspective of the game, it was a really tough fought battle, and I think the Hawks really, without Trey Morning, were always going to win the game. They showed their class towards the end there.
Well, stick with us on Sky Sport in 9 minutes' time, live on Prime as well. The Auckland Tuatara take on the Franklin Bulls at Battle of the Big City. The Bulls looking to reverse some poor form over the last couple of weeks against an Auckland Tuatara team who have lost just 1 game so far. And tomorrow the winless Saints take on the winless Jets before the Airs are back in action. Another great game of basketball in the NZNBL. And from myself, Hugh Bain and Phil Jones, we'll do it all again next week. Stick with us in 8 minutes. Tuatara against the Bulls live on Sky Sport.